Hey, do you remember this clip from the Dana Coverstone data dream?
Then the scene changed, and I saw a rotunda of the Capitol, and there was a closed casket in the middle of the rotunda. And the sign on the casket stated that inside was the Democratic candidate for the office of president. And there was a calendar hanging above that casket, and it had the date specifically. Clearly, I saw it. One of the first times I've seen an actual date, not on a calendar, but on the paper, it said December 17th.
So there we see a coffin in the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol building with senators and other prominent people gathered around it. And then one of the senators is infuriated. He tries to mobilize everybody else to go and charge the White House, and he's shaking his fist. The others don't really follow very keenly. And there's a sign on the coffin that says, Democrat candidate for office of the President of the United States, and a date, December 17th. Coverstone had this dream back in 2020 before the election. I forget what month. I think he had it in September, October of 2020. But it was before the 2020 election. So here's what we all thought. It's a Democrat candidate for office of the president. We all, and he also saw one of Joe Biden's sons there. And he said he saw one of Biden's sons there, presumably Hunter Biden. So we assumed Biden was in the coffin. Natural. He was the Democrat candidate. We thought Trump was going to win. He saw Hunter Biden there, along with Jill Biden. And Joe Biden was feeble, mentally, dementia, you name it. Very clearly, we thought, okay, this got to be Joe Biden in the casket. So everyone was focused on December 17th. And then December 17th came and went, and Joe Biden didn't pass away. And so this was used as evidence by people that Coverstone's dreams were false. However, I just posted a dream on Puffed Up Pastors, Prophecy Fulfilled, that shows another one of Coverstone's predictions through his dreams has come true. And I believe this one won as well. This one will as well, sorry. But I had a thought. I don't believe that it is Biden in the coffin. And here's why I say that. There's two pieces of evidence that tell me that it's not Biden in the coffin. One, I think we were thrown off by Coverstone mentioning he saw Jill Biden and Hunter Biden standing around it. They could also be there, even if it was someone else prominent besides Biden. Two, and I think God may have done that on purpose to make us think it was coming true sooner. He does that. He's tricky with these dates. But I happen to know that the senator Coverstone saw that ran out was Chuck Schumer. And shaking his fist at the White House. That means, now if Biden were to pass away this December 17th, for example, who would take over the White House? Well, it'd be Kamala Harris. Even if Trump wins in December, Kamala will still be vice president. The inauguration won't be till January 20th, right? So if Biden were to pass away around this December 17th, Kamala would take over the White House as president temporarily until the inauguration, even if Trump wins. And a funeral is going, or someone's passed away and they're lying in state in the Capitol building, that's going to happen within days, maybe a week of their actual passing. You're not going to wait till after January 20th. But Chuck Schumer is not going to shake his fist at Kamala Harris. He wouldn't. They're on the same team. So he has to be shaking his fist at a Republican. Namely, it has to be Trump. It has to be Trump in the White House he's shaking his fist at. And why is he shaking his fist at Trump, at the Trump White House, if the person in the casket just died of old age or a heart attack or dementia? Whatever. Why would that cause him to shake his fist? And I noticed something else. It doesn't say, the sign didn't say Democrat president of the United States. It said Democrat candidate, as if they'd never been successful. So that would seem to eliminate Joe Biden as a possibility, both those two things. You see what I'm saying? Because Joe Biden, no matter what you think about the election and what election fraud, he's been president. He's going to go in the history books as president. He was certified as president according to the laws of the United States. So you can't really say, just call him candidate, because he was president. So I don't think that language from God is accidental. Democrat candidate for the office of president. That leaves only 4 people. You got Kamala Harris, which is the candidate right now. Hillary Clinton, who lost in 2016. You got John Kerry, who lost in 2004, and Al Gore lost in 2000. Those are the only, as far as I know, the only living Democrat candidates for president who didn't become president, or haven't yet in Kamala's case. I really don't think it's Gore or Kerry. They're somewhat irrelevant in today's politics. It would have to be then Hillary or Kamala. If Kamala doesn't win the election, if Trump wins this election, but she refuses to give over the White House, and then later the military has to install Trump by force, she would still only be called candidate because she was never officially elected, or certified. Still, I tend to think that Hillary Clinton is the best candidate. And in the November dream that Coverstone had, you see Kamala Harris driving this wagon full of explosives, and it hits Hillary Clinton, who'd been holding Trump prisoner, and he escaped by popping in the face, running away, and then there's this explosion involving Hillary and Kamala and their efforts to kill Trump. And we don't really see what happened to her after that. On the other hand, and then another factor is this. If you have a case where all of this corruption and all of these assassination attempts against Trump are exposed as to who was behind them, who was making them happen, whoever was behind it, Harris or Clinton, one of them's behind it, in conjunction with the CIA and the Skull and Bones Society. Whichever one it turns out is really behind it, Trump's going to have a lot of antipathy for that person, animosity towards them. That's definitely high treason, I would think. Major crime. So in such a case where Trump is, they're trying to actually assassinate him, the truth is discovered, he's eventually put in by the military, I think it's perfectly reasonable to think that he might have either one of them executed, or both of them, for their crimes. And it may very well be Hillary Clinton in that coffin that Donald Trump has executed after he's put in office for her crimes. So I don't know. That's quite the speculation. I'm just saying I do believe that Coverstone's dreams are from God. And I see those details of that title, Democrat candidate, not president, candidate, and Schumer shaking his fist at the White House saying Trump's in there, not Harris. Those things all together, they kind of clicked, and I said, you know what? Maybe we're assuming the wrong person. Maybe we've been assuming it's Biden, but it can't really be Biden, can it? And so if that's true, then also know that December 17th cannot be this December 17th, which would make me feel like the most likely probability would be next December 17th in 2025. Doesn't mean that's what it is, but I wouldn't expect it before then. That would also tell me that the timing of the data dream events may be around that same time. Whatever year this December 17th coffin in the Lion and State, the Rotunda happens, that would probably be the same year as the data dream events. Anyways, those are my thoughts today on that, and just food for thought. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon.